G'day everyone, it's True here and welcome to another African Violet video. Today I wanted to show you a method of increasing the yield of baby plants that you'll get from propagating an African Violet leaf. It's a little hack that it's very simple to do and will help the number of babies you get. I know a lot of people struggle with leaf propagation, and if you just do a few little simple things, it makes it so much easier. So today I just want to show you how to mix up some soil, and of course always with African violets, they're very climate specific, so you may need to add a little bit more perlite. This is perlite here. Or you may need to add more soil. This is actually cacti and succulent soil. I prefer to use cacti and succulent soil, but you can use premixed African violet soil if you want. And this one here is vermiculite. And I find that with the leaf propagation, if I use vermiculite, it just helps keep that soil really, really moist and helps your success with getting babies. So we're going to mix up soil now. I think a really good mixture is around 30% cacti and succulent soil. So we'll put some of that in our little container. We won't need much because the pot that you want to put your leaf into very small pots. So this is just a tiny little pot we're going to be putting it in, so we won't need much soil at all. So about 30%, not much. You don't need much soil, actual soil at all. You need double that amount of perlite, so around 60% perlite. So, because perlite helps with aeration of the soil, keeps it nice and fluffy, allowing sort of very good aeration to go around the roots, which African violets love. So we want a fair bit of perlite, and then around 10% of the vermiculite. Just a little sprinkle of the vermiculite. And then we want to mix it all together. And you may need to adjust it as you go. So I'm going to pop a little bit more soil in to that. It is a bit of a science. You can just generally tell by the look of it. We might even pop a little bit more soil in. And that's looking quite good. I'm happy with that. So then we want to take our pot. This is the leaf we're going to be propagating. We'll put that aside for the moment. We'll take our pot, we'll put a little bit of the soil, of our soil mix in the bottom of the pot for the moment. Okay, we'll put that aside. So, now this leaf, it's got quite a long stalk on it, and I chose this one because I thought it would be easy to demonstrate this method. So what you'll need to do is, you don't have to do this when you're propagating a leaf, but it will help get more babies and your chances of success. So you want to cut at around a 45-degree angle. So you leave a fair amount of stalk, probably about the same length of the leaf you would leave for the stalk. So around there at a 45-degree angle with a very sharp blade, you'll cut it. And then this is the little hack of what you do to increase your yield. You want to cut the petiole, or this stem of the leaf, just around maybe 2 centimeters lengthways in half. Just like that. So you'll have a little slit in the end of the leaf. And that will help you increase the yield of your and success of getting babies. So then all we need to do, you can use the end of your blade. I always like to plant my leaves near the edge because then they can rest on the edge of the pot. Just put that base in the soil. Then you'll give it a bit of water and it's all good. Now the other little hack of success of getting your leaves to propagate well is you always keep the soil moist. So I'll actually sit that pot in a tray of water and I'll keep that tray of water in it constantly until I start seeing babies come up. And when I start seeing babies come up, I reduce it a little bit, but I keep the soil very, very moist the whole time. And I find I don't ever dome my plants. I don't need to dome my plants. I just make sure that that soil is wet and moist all the time. And with that extra little slit cut in the bottom, that'll increase the number of babies that come off this leaf. And this leaf should get, I would think, around 4, 5, maybe even 6 little babies coming off it. It'll do really, really well. So I hope that little hack has helped you. You know, you can add that extra vermiculite into the soil, but remember, you don't need to do that. That's just to help with moisture retention. Vermiculite keeps more moisture in the soil, and because I want the soil to be really, really moist, that's just my experience. I found that helps get more babies and more success with leaf propagation. I'll pop a little bit of vermiculite in there as well, just as a little top up to keep that soil moist all the time. But you don't want it to be, because the soil is moist and really wet all the time doing leaf propagation, you also want it to be very, very aerated very well, because if it's not aerated really well, that's when you'll start getting root rot and things like that developing once you start getting roots coming and that. So this is one method of leaf propagation that you can do. Don't forget, you can also propagate your leaves in water, and that's a little slightly different method, but you can do this slit method in water as well to help increase your yield. So that's also something you can use if you're doing leaf propagation in water. But I hope this little hack has helped you, and all the best with your African violet growing, and I hope you've enjoyed watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.